Hi, I'm Paddycake, and this is my best friend, Brent. We've been besties for a while now, and one of the things we bonded over was our shared love of Madlibs. On Christmas a few years ago, Brent pitched the idea to me to create a show where we use AI art to accentuate the humor of Madlibs. 3 weeks later, we started filming, and we haven't stopped since. Through this project, we hope to share our weird humor and to highlight both the unexpected beauty and complete absurdity of AI-generated art. Welcome to MidJourney Madlibs. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please come in, make yourself at home. My name is Paddycake. Welcome to Paddycake Games and another episode of MidJourney Madlibs. With me, as always, is my best friend and co-host, Brent. How are you tonight?
Surprisingly great.
Good.
I mean, I've had food and
As have I.
Sort of productive today.
Nah, I wasn't very productive. We're not going to waste any time. You guys know how this works. We send each other Madlibs. We send each other the answers to go into those Madlibs. We then take those sentences, we run them through MidJourney, we create art, we get together, we show it to each other, and we laugh. And that's the show, and we hope you like it. And if you do like it, look down below the video. There's a button just for you. It's a thumbs up button. It just means you like the video. And if you're clicking on that, you might as well go right next to it and click the subscribe button. That really helps out the channel a whole lot. And if you want to be super thorough, you can ring that notification bell. That lets you know when new videos get posted to the channel. And you can also look down into the description, and there's a link to a Discord. Come and join the Discord. We have a lovely community there. They'd love to meet you. And that's it.
Yes.
Brent, you're up. And I'm really excited to see what this is because dreams are always funny.
Yes, this is my crazy dream, and all of us have told somebody about our dreams before. Sometimes I have been told not to. Anyhow, so last week we talked about my dream person, and now it's your crazy dream. So we're on a dream
kick, apparently.
Do you ever have crazy dreams?
I do.
Well, last night I had the wildest dream ever.
Oh, that's cool. That's a really cool interpretation of dreaming.
Because, like, there were all kinds of weird ones. A lot of them showed people sleeping in funny positions instead of like this imagery around them, and I really like how that turned out. And it feels dreamy. The colors are like nighttime.
There's lots of deep blues and greens, and yeah.
I dreamt that I was living in a quarantine Quonset hut in Wales with Ernie, my rugby instructor. See? So, just so y'all know, QWERTY goes down the keyboard, starting with Q, going over to P, down to A, L, and so on. And so, Patrick was like, he had a Q word, and he put I think he put a
Quebec.
quarantine building.
No, well, I put Quebec at first.
Oh, Quebec first.
And he said it needs to be
more
like a structure,
place.
like a large structure.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and I couldn't think of anything. It's like, well, quarantine facility. There we go.
Yeah, and then I sent Quonset hut, and he goes, well, either or, that'll work. And
So
I'm
use
like,
them both. Yeah.
let's do it all. So it's a quarantine Quonset hut in Wales with Ernie, my rugby instructor. In the dream, I had teal hair, and I was like tons feet tall.
Yeah. Okay. You come up with a number that starts with the letter Y.
Yo,
like tons. Wow, that's weird.
This one caught me way off guard. But she's clearly tons tall because she looks like she's like draped over like the third or fourth story here. And it looks like she's picked up a taxi and put it up there with her.
Or is it a toy taxi?
Yeah, this looks like it was made like a diorama or something.
Yeah, it does look like a diorama. But it looks like it's been raining. Like there's water beating on her hair, and like the balcony itself is flooded, and the water's pouring off the edge. Kind of looks like. It's weird.
I had powers like a superhero. Now we've all dreamed that, right?
Totally.
If I wanted to fly, all I had to do was flap my uvula. Sorry. It's like, all I had to do was flap my uvula and jump off my ice cube.
Well, he apparently took his ice cube with him when he went flying.
I know. I kind of feel like the reason why he's going to fly is because he's going to leap off of this ice cube and plummet.
Yeah, that's not flying, that's falling.
Oliver, whoever he is, because all we've heard about is Ernie.
True.
Anyway, Oliver had powers too. He could shoot a pencil sharpener out of his arthritic hip and swing through skates like a dingo. I see no pencil sharpeners, no skates, no dingoes. Maybe he has an arthritic hip, but I feel like he's powering through it if he does. But it's just really kind of cool. And then what's wrong with his hands?
Oh, they look very old. Maybe it's gloves.
Yeah,
maybe they're gloves that he's wearing. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's wearing gloves that have like a wrinkled texture on them. But oh God, what is he? I mean, how is he suspended exactly? Because it looks like a chain going down to a hook that's coming out of his butt.
The best part of the dream was living in the quarantine Quonset hut. It had 5 rooms.
Oh, okay. Now see,
I think it's cool.
That's kind of nice. I could live there. Well, I wouldn't want to live there permanently, but I could stay there for a period of time.
I think it'd be a kind of a cool Airbnb.
Yeah, it would.
You know, like, it's very whimsical. You've got this quarantine room here with looks like it got a bed in it, and then there's like a spiral staircase, and then another staircase,
and a ladder.
There's this other cool bedroom. I mean, there's some stuff going on, and you could get from room to room by closing your goiter and saying, I think I hang, I think I jingle.
I hang, jingle, jungle, jungle, jingle.
I picked this
No,
one.
wait.
It's A, because
it's I hang, jungle, jungle, I thang, I think.
I think.
I thang.
And then a cute little bug thing.
2 of them.
But I chose this one because A, it's funny looking, and B, it actually looks like he might have the beginnings of a baby goiter.
Yeah.
The place was full of kites that I could lock with all day. My dream was so real that when I woke up, I thought I could fly. I like this one. I like the weird kind of reddish grasses, and this old either house or church back here is intriguing, and then there's these random kites. And
well, the kites kind of look like paper airplanes too, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then
But
she's trying really hard to fly, but I think she's just gonna belly flop onto the ground.
Maybe she's in mid leap. Well, that leads us to this one then. I stood on my zipper, flapped my xiphoid process, and jumped. I did not fly, but landed on a pile of dirty coronets.
Oh. What are you?
It is so weird. It came out of left field. I was like, I have to use this one.
That's so strange.
And it looks like it's black and white. So this is like an old, maybe it's an old, like, it's a ballet. And maybe she's a frog. Maybe it's a mask.
Maybe, but it's just, yeah, that's weird. This is like performance art. Captured performance art.
Time for those
Yay.
honorable mentions.
Oh, somebody has a firecracker in their pocket.
Here we are in our quarantine Quonset hut in Wales.
Okay.
Ew.
Yeah, it's a
But
little
I
dirty.
love that we have.
Yeah,
a
you
rugby-
exactly.
No, but that's the rugby ball is there. I love it. So we have this very odd couch. I don't know what that is in the corner. I don't know if it's like a bed or a playpen or.
Kind of looks like a playpen.
In the dream, I had teal hair, and I was like tons feet tall.
Okay. Well, the hair is actually kind of tealish. It's got a tinge of bluish green.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
Right, exactly.
I had powers, I had powers like a superhero. If I wanted to fly, all I had to do was flap my uvula and jump off my ice cube. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious because it actually looks like it could be one of Lady Shablagoo's neighbors.
Perhaps she can make a story about her. her other neighbor who walks around in a freaking cape all the time. I don't know what that's all about.
Oliver had powers too. He could shoot a pencil sharpener out of his arthritic hip and swing through skates like a dingo.
Okay, well, there's skate wheels on one of the things he's holding. That's about it.
One of his shoes looks like it might have
a little bit
a wheel.
Yeah.
The knee pads, give it. But I don't know if it's Oliver, maybe Olivia, because
it does look like an Olivia. There's
those
some
don't look
there.
like moves; they just look like breasts.
Yeah.
The best part of the dream was living in a quarantine Quonset hut. It had 5 rooms.
I only see
which
one.
Were basically just separated by carpet or something. Maybe like over here is our sitting room, and over here is our
the thing is,
cash register room.
If this is in an area where the weather is beautiful, 24/7, I wouldn't have a problem staying in this place. It's very open air, but if it's comfortable,
rustic.
But if it's comfortable, I wouldn't mind sleeping there for a weekend. That'd be kind of cool. Ooh.
I stood on my zipper, flapped my xiphoid process, and jumped. I did not fly, but landed on a coral reef.
Yeah. Like, what are all these things around her?
I think that they're like sea creatures. And it looks like she's on the ocean bottom.
Yeah, it does look like she's standing on coral. That's really weird.
Anyway, I thought they were amazing. I thought this was fun. This is very indicative of a crazy dream. Mm-hmm. All of them.
They absolutely are.
And it was a total romp. But now we have a different romp entirely. This Lady Shablagoo is going to tell us about a very, very unusual war.
And now, Southern Fried Scary Tales with Lady Shablagoo.
Well, hello, darlings. Looks like you caught me in the middle of making a quilt. Let's be honest, I'm not the best quilter in these parts. Or any parts, for that matter. So you mostly just caught me making a mess. As y'all know, I can spin a pretty good yarn, but sometimes my needlework is a few stitches short of a good seam, as my mama used to say. And that reminds me of a story I first heard when I was a little girl at a quilting bee. Now, I said I wasn't a good quilter, but that's not for lack of trying. Trying my mama's patience, that is. Now, there's lots of reasons to go to a quilting bee besides quilting. My Aunt Matilda's cognac and orange brownies. Listen to Miss Tamara Louise Barker's newest malady. That woman has had more obscure ailments than the county clinic treats in a century. And the buzz. That's right. You can't have a quilting bee without the buzz. Busy little bees like to gossip, and if we stayed real quiet, they'd say things that us young girls normally wouldn't get to hear. My motto, keep your head down and your ears open. And that's where I first heard about the skunk ape. What? You've never heard of the skunk ape? Well, it certainly doesn't look like that. My, the imagination of some people. Anyway, the skunk ape has been part of Florida lore for centuries. Maybe longer, but folks ain't sure if there really was an old Seminole or Miccosukee legends about a creature, or if they were retconned. What? An old lady can't know what retcon means? I may be old, but I've picked up a few books and a few comic books in my time. Don't judge a woman by her bouffant. These pin curls and buns are full of secrets. Anyway, the skunk ape is supposedly between 5 foot and 7 feet tall, walks on 2 legs, is covered in dark brown to reddish shaggy fur, and stinks to high heaven. If you ask me, it sounds like Sasquatch's slightly smaller cousin with a bad case of B.O. Small wonder. If I was living in the hot Florida swamps, I'd need a lot more than secret, strong enough for a man, but made for a woman, to keep me smelling like a peach. Stories about the skunk ape first surfaced in 1818 in the Cottonton newspaper, later known as Apalachicola, just a year before the fledgling United States bought Florida from Spain. I'm not saying these things are related, but Florida had become a burden to Spain, and the emergence of a big, hairy, scary, smelly creature roving about could have just been the final straw. This creature, they said, was a man-sized ape, and it was stealing food and stalking fishermen around the area. 110 years or so later, one was spotted down in the Keys attacking, of all things, the Perky Bat Tower. Okay. I know I gotta explain that. You see, this old fishing lodge owner named Richter Clyde Perky, I don't make up these names, bought a special tower that was supposed to be a bat roost. The bats were intended to eat the mosquitoes that cause malaria. But our skunk ape took issue with this, attacked the tower, and scared all the bats away. That was in 1929, the same year the stock market crashed. I'm sure they ain't related, of course. Then, in 1942, a man in Sewanee County was driving down the road when the skunk ape rushed out from the brush line and attacked his truck while it was moving. It continued to beat on the truck for nearly half a mile. My. That same decade, one skunk ape, or maybe it was a family of them, got a new name. The Baden Booger, on account that it was terrorizing the people of Baden down in Putnam County. More and more sightings around the state occurred from the 1950s to the 1970s, but some of those sightings could have just been hippies wandering in the woods looking for mushrooms or their special hemp plants. You just never know. In 1977, Florida even tried to pass a law making capturing, bothering, or injuring any humanoid animals, like the skunk ape, illegal. Why anyone would want to be in the vicinity of that creature on purpose is beyond me. One Florida tour bus operator claims that skunk apes ate all the lima beans from their wildlife bait stands. Well, that surely won't improve its odor. In Sarasota County, an account was anonymously reported to the sheriff's department that included photos. It claimed an old lady said a creature she thought was an orangutan was stealing apples from her porch. That was in 2000. The same year George W. Bush beat Al Gore for president, and everything hinged on Florida. I'm not saying those are related, but it is rather curious. I'm not sure if the skunk ape was for or against a recount. Well, as you probably know, Florida and its people have always been a little weird, and apparently so are Florida's monsters. No insult intended. Well, maybe a little one. Oh, but not that much. Oh, that's California. Here, just use this one. So, remember, if you're ever in Florida and you smell something real bad, and you know for certain your deodorant is still working, I suggest you run. Bye, y'all.
Interesting. I had no idea that there was a war between Bigfoot and the Indians. How interesting. But you know what? I've got a Madlib, and I'm super excited about this one. This week is going to be a two-parter, guys. So tonight's going to be part 1, and then Thursday is going to be part 2. But this is the Summer of Love Letters, part 1.
Well, that's sort of perfect since one of my things was summer words.
Exactly. I was in the attic going through some old jobs.
Oh.
You can't see me, but I was like doing the gesture she was doing.
I just did it too.
Awesome. Yeah, I think your main job should be fixing your attic because it looks like all the boards have fallen.
Unless maybe it's her attic is like an art installation.
Oh yeah, in which case it's perfect.
House.
Yeah, in which case it's perfect. It's very cool. When, to my jovial surprise, I came across my parents' old love jackasses.
Sorry. I forgot I gave you that one. Did it let you use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it gave me a combination of jackasses and jackrabbits.
Is that a cow around its neck?
It's a smaller jackass that's around its neck.
I like the sweater.
Here's one of Mom's most jiggly letters.
Oh wow, they turned it into Jello.
I know, that's why I chose. It's like, oh, the letter's made of gelatin. Okay, it's perfect. Yeah, most of this just gave me pictures of letters, like very specific looking letters in envelopes or open and with gibberish writing. You know, this is the only one that gave me like something that it's kind of like red cellophane or something, but that's the closest I could get to making it look like Jello. I
can't read the words, but it looks real, like real handwriting.
Yeah,
like I think I see the word wine, but it looks like a woman's very slanty cursive writing.
My Jewish hippie man.
If only he would have had a yarmulke on, I would have lost it.
I tried so hard. To get some. Now, the honorable mention has one that's kind of, it's the closest I could get to merging hippie and Jew. You know, very, very, very stereotypical Jew, like almost offensively stereotypical.
I love these mushrooms and everything. It looks like one of those like weird paintings that you would see like at a head shop or something.
Yeah, or those things my parents used to get them, but they were like adult coloring books basically, but they were these super intricate things like this, but there was like one big poster and it came with like pencil colors or markers, colored markers, and you'd color it in and you'd end up with something like this when you were done.
I love to color.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, seriously.
I miss you jauntily. More than jelly jars can say.
Oh. They're really large.
This looks like a weird offering at a forest temple in Japan somewhere.
Yeah, it
Like-
does look like a Buddhist, you know.
You come across it and you kind of get freaked out, and then you hear noises in the woods, and then something follows you home. You know, this is what I picture from this. It's a little creepy.
I also see punch bowls.
Well, yeah. Also, it could be punch bowls. Absolutely. Especially the big tall one. The big tall one would be great for a party. We'll have to make up a drink to go in the other one called the Cupid doll because it looks like a Cupid doll head. I miss your juicy smile. So juicy. It's so juicy.
It makes me really uncomfortable, and like it's like her teeth are growing out of her face rather than her mouth being ripped open. I don't know, this is...
Yep. It's all kinds of wrong, but I
know what it
I
is?
loved it.
No, it's makeup. Have you seen that one? Well, there's probably more than one, but several artists they'll do like these face faking things, like they'll have their eyes like down here, but when they open their eyes, they're on top, or you know they'll give themselves like an extra set of eyes, and at first you think those are their real eyes, but then they open them, you know, like that kind of thing.
I miss the way my jaw beats when your eyes stare joylessly into mine. Speaking of weird eyes.
And it's almost as if this is like a picture in a window or whatever, and the person is looking at you under the picture, but the picture's a little like the proportions are larger, so
Yeah, that's what I see.
because you can see
as
her
well.
hair underneath there.
That's what I see as well. Or that whole thing where you take like two boxes that have pictures on them, and like the picture goes around the corner, and you like put one way and one the other way, and so the picture doesn't quite line up right. I miss going for long walks to the juke joint at sunset. And apparently they went back in time to do that because this is New Orleans circa 1890.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I got the juke joint from The Color Purple. I mean, obviously it's existed before then, but that's where I really remember hearing about the juke joint.
Well, I mean, that's what my grandmother always called bars. Bars were juke joints.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you ever picture us spending the rest of our jagged lives together? I do.
Yeah. No. You're definitely jagged, lady.
I don't know what's
Your
up
knee-
with
your knees are going the wrong way, ma'am.
There's so much wrong with this anatomy here. It's really weird. I dream of our living in a cozy house with a picket gibberish. It's a fixer-upper.
Tis a bit. I can see the sky through the window in the house through the roof.
Yes, it's definitely a fixer-upper. Apparently birds live there.
And we're dreaming again, apparently. I dream.
I know in my heart of jeans that I want to grow jumpy with you. This is the weirdest outfits. It's like, I want to wear a dress that makes my chest look like someone's butt.
Whose hand is in her pocket? I mean, oh, yeah. And what is he wearing around his neck?
I don't
or his
know.
body. For
Well,
that matter.
they're both wearing it around their neck. It goes around her neck too. It's like they're sharing a scarf.
with their with thing.
With their weird, with things hanging out in their pocket. With all my Jacquard love, Janet Jackson.
Yes. Oh, how much I love this. I agonize over Jacquard as an adjective because it's a noun. But I'm like, if you called something a Jacquard coat or a Jacquard fabric, that would turn it into an adjective.
Absolutely.
And it
works.
did.
It works.
Did a great job. I'm very excited about that.
And it honestly, honestly, it's very artistic impression. But if you said this is Janet Jackson, I can see it. All right. Well, that is it for the Madlib. Are you ready for some honorable mentions?
Absolutely.
All right.
This is great.
Here's number one. This is the attic. It was in the attic going through some old jobs, and I put this one in there because I thought this is Brent's dream attic. All you need is like a little
Somewhere
like
to sit.
comfortable chair in the corner with a light and a little table next to it to put a drink and some snacks, and this you would be in heaven.
And it almost looks like that's a screen up there.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be kind of cool. Like you could like lay back and watch a movie above your bookcase.
This is the one that was my Jewish hippie man.
That is kind of funny. He looks a little bit like Al Pacino.
I miss your juicy smile.
Remember this because I have one and the next episode that is reminiscent of that.
Okay. I miss your juicy smile.
Oh, you're so cute. It's scary. And what are those little things that are hovering around them?
I don't know. That was the weirdest part of this. It's just like little curly things that kind of hover in the air around him. Very strange. I miss the way my jaw beats when your eyes stare joylessly into me. Into mine. Sorry. Not into me.
And there are a lot of eyes.
There's a lot of eyes.
They don't look very joyful.
No, they look pretty joyful. Actually, they look
They
look fearful.
One looks afraid. One looks mad. One looks kind of just like, I don't know what's up here.
Same thing. Joyless eyes.
Oh, it's very close up.
Yes,
I was like,
it's super
what?
close up.
Did you zoom out on this one?
I did, but it didn't give me anything that was really interesting. Missed going for
the
long
juke
walks
joint.
to the juke joint at sunset. But what drew me to this one was just the ridiculous amount of power lines. It's just crazy. And it made me think, and I know this doesn't mean anything to you, but anyone watching out there who's ever watched Serial Experiments Lane, this is what it made me think of. It looks like it's lifted straight out of that anime. Do you ever picture us spending the rest of our jagged lives together? I do.
That is so bizarre.
Their facial expressions are really weird. Like one looks
I
really
feel like
nervous,
these are
and the other one
certainly like masks, but
one looks really nervous, and the other one looks super sad.
or a little pensive. But yeah,
This is miss you more than jelly jars can say.
those are some cool jelly jars.
Yeah,
that
they
would
fly.
be kind of fun to get.
They fly.
Jelly jars that were the color of whatever's in them.
Right? They must be flapping their uvulas.
Or they jumped off their ice cube.
And that is it. That is the end of my Madlib for tonight.
Goody gumballs!
Well, that concludes both our Madlibs, and that concludes tonight's episode of MidJourney Madlibs. Thank you, everyone, for coming by and watching the show. Brent, thank you for hosting this with me. It's always so much fun.
Yes, it's been a blast, and there's more to come.
Absolutely. So don't forget, next week is going to be our last 2 episodes of the season until we take our, well, not the season, just till the mid-season break, and then we'll be back again. So make sure you come back and watch those. Make sure you click like and subscribe before you leave, and we'll see you guys next week. Or actually, we'll see you guys Thursday, not next week. Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Bye.
And next week.
Yeah, well then too, yeah.
Like and subscribe.
The algorithm demands it.